This week on the Beard Laws Podcast.
Apparently she really likes chicken wings so hot that it burns the next day.
Don't we all?
I don't.
Ooh, I love me some hot wings. I want to feel it. I want to have heartburn throughout the rest of the day, and I want to fire the next day. That's how I like my wings too. I love it.
I don't like the feeling of glass the next day. I don't like it.
I've grown so accustomed to it. No matter what I eat, I can drink a glass of water, fire. I can have a salad, fire. So,
wow,
eat some wings.
If Dairy Queen's going after us, we're definitely feeling some good success there.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Sticky sheets.
That has to be a thing. Welcome, everybody, to the Sticky Sheets Podcast.
Yes. Come bust the load with it. Come unload and unwind.
In the realm of beard loss, a trio strong and true. Yuban, Brandon, and beard loss with tales both old and new. Their whiskers like a forest, their knowledge like a stream, guiding us through beardom and culinary dream. Beard loss, the sage of facial grace, with whiskers flowing, setting the pace. Yuban, the jester in clouds of green, laughs and wisdom and sight unseen. Brandon J. McDermott, food daddy supreme, a feast of facts, a culinary dream.
Everybody poops. I wrote a book about it. Shout out to that author. I always reference that book, but I've never actually looked up who wrote. You know what I mean? As much as I've talked about it, everybody poops. Written by, it's Turtleback Binding Edition. That's pretty good marketing. Who wrote this thing?
Turtle head.
Taro Gomi. It's Japanese. Didn't know that. But it was translated in the U.S. editions in the English by Amanda Mayer. Stitchicum. That's an interesting last name. I thought it was going to be John Mayer's cousin, but Amanda Mayer. Yes, I'm not good with pronouncing names. It's like my kryptonite, so we'll let you guys do this. This is on the Wikipedia right here.
Yeah, I think Stinchicum would be good.
Stitchicum.
Yeah.
Or Stinchum cum, whichever of those.
Stitchum cum. Interesting.
Stinking cum.
Stinking cum. The old polar turd. I know, I used to have some buddies that were super into that. I thought it was weird. It's the last thing I want to do after I take a big, healthy dump.
Yeah.
You
Not
act
interested.
like you haven't done it. Your names you've been whacking off. You must have done some interesting things.
Just because I do it doesn't mean I'm a fan of it. And I do a lot of things I don't want to do. Sometimes you just have to do it.
Yeah. That's being an adult, I feel like. I feel like we had a couple of those venting moments before we pressed record. But either way, welcome back, everybody. The voice you're hearing, it's me. It's Matt. It's Beard Laws. That's You've Been Whacking Off. Brandon J. McDermott. My dudes, as always. And last time we did a little bit of a spoiler alert. We're thinking about changing the names. Brandon thought it was a good idea. Yuban. So I'm going to throw it out while we're recording, and it'll either stick or it won't. But we were thinking... Brandon, you haven't heard this yet. I kind of tossed it to you, Ben, in a random conversation. What about s'more than dads? Because we're s'more than dads, and it plays on foods, dads. We don't change the whole thing. That we just keep being us, but it's a potential name.
I don't hate it.
No, it's not bad.
That doesn't mean I don't not like it either.
Yeah, it's like kind of we saw it. We were like, it's okay, room for improvement, but maybe, either way. So we're going to chew on that one for a little bit. But if anybody listening has a suggestion on what we might call it, or if we should just leave it, just let us know.
I mean, it's more than dads. There's 3 ingredients. There's the graham cracker. There's the marshmallow. There's some chocolate. So unfortunately, I don't know who can be the chocolate in this one.
You know what we should do, Matt? And you.
What's that?
We should throw it into my Chat GPT 4.0. Give it a couple prompts and come up with 30 names and see what we got.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's build the prompt. So,
okay,
help us create a new name for our podcast. The subject / themes are. What would you say the themes?
A little sneaky snakes themes.
Snakes.
I missed that
part. Dads.
Dads. Yep, we're dads.
Okay. Dads. Other themes.
We have we talk food, right?
Food.
Smegma. I'm just joking.
That ties into food, Cuban.
Yeah, duh. I mean, that's a delicacy in some places.
That's right.
Oh. I remember saying to my friend, "Hey, buddy, you know what smegma is?" And like he just said the most quick, like, "Yeah," like, but in that it was a I don't want to say any more about this. Like, yeah, no more.
Yeah, I
No
know,
more.
but I don't want to admit that I know. And if anybody else is listening, I don't want them to know. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
There was a
What
video
else we
of
talking?
a guy who had 30 years of smegma, never showered, and it calcified and turned into rocks. And so they had a little jar of just his smegma rocks.
Oh, you knew a guy that did that?
No,
Or
it was
you
on
heard of him?
TikTok. It was
Okay.
this weekend I saw it. There was, I mean, it looked like you can put that bad boy as some chalk and just use it in a classroom. It was
he from?
gross.
Were they from Utah?
Ooh, I don't think they said exactly where it was from, but it was an American couple. And so that was the thing is, so this person was married and apparently they had a low sex marriage or whatever and apparently never did it because she was unaware.
Aren't they all that?
So I've extended the kind of explanation, the main themes and some like secondary themes, so it doesn't because I mean, we can build this out as much as we can, so as much as we want. So
I'm excited.
And whether we use these or not, who cares? But it's their fun.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
For funsies. Yeah.
So I've got main themes are dads, food, life lessons, and then some sub themes or some secondary themes are beer drinking. I figured that was in there. I mean, I almost wore my beer veteran hat.
Yeah.
You got beer behind you.
We talk about poop. We talk about it's kind of a free flowing. You know what I mean? Just like a free flowing. I've always kind of said it's kind of like a free flowing conversation, as if the boys were kind of sitting around a bonfire. You know what I mean? Just easy going, just dudes being dudes. Whether you're at a dive bar, whether you're around a bonfire. Isn't that weird? You're just like, oh, we've been doing this podcast forever. What do we do? Like somebody asked me that, like, what do you guys actually talk about? And we're like, I don't know, whatever we feel like.
Boobs, bonfires, and buttholes.
Yep. Triple B, baby.
The triple B.
Triple B, triple
I'm building
T.
up the thing here. So I said we talk about. Come on.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I ever tell you the thing I did when I changed that for my daughter?
No.
I said instead of we don't talk about Bruno, I said nobody forgets about Paco. Just fucking with her because she hates when I do that. She's like, I hate that. It's not Paco, Dad. It's Bruno. Now, when she sings the song, she says nobody talks about Paco.
Yeah, that'll stick.
My kids had their field day on Friday, and they usually play some music outside through like their little, they call it the crow's nest or whatever. But they were playing nothing but Disney songs, and I'm like, oh my God. And the reason why they did it this time is because last time the kids kind of had a little bit of freedom, and it was Kids Bop, and then it turned into some very explicit gangster rap. So.
I mean, if you're in the crow's nest, a bunch of crows is murder. So, I mean, if Ja Rule gets played, it's kind of fitting, right?
That's right. It's right.
Murder.
Throwback. I've not heard that reference in a minute.
I know. I just got on this 90s rap kick again from a lot of the conversation and the Body Wrong stuff. And, they were going off about, which I still don't know about it, the whole Kendrick and Drake thing.
Yes.
They were going pretty hard about it in the chat. And I have to admit, they actually, Burley messaged me and made a reference to the actor in Mrs. Doubtfire to see if I potentially, maybe did that move that made him say goodbye. I'm not around anymore because I hadn't responded to a single message all day, which isn't like me. It was that busy of a day. And he's like, what are you just sitting around watching Star Wars all day? Because it was May the 4th. And I'm like, no, well, we have one kid here playing sports that's 40 minutes away, another one here, and we have to come back. Then we went to a birthday party, which, gotta admit, one of the coolest 13-year-old birthday parties I went. There's this very small town where the wife lives, and they, a guy, I think he's like a pharmacist or whatever, decided that he was going to open kind of like a place for dudes to hang out, and it has 2 golf simulators. And those things probably run 10 to 20 grand a piece, so there's 2 of them. It's got a full bar, it's got a pool table, it's got darts. I almost called you yesterday because the dartboard was getting this error code that said you needed to clear a code and all this shit, and I had no idea. I was trying to Google, nothing came up. I'm holding buttons. tried the power off, couldn't clear it because all I wanted to do was throw some darts. So we get in the simulator. You could do mini golf on it. So we had one that the kids were playing mini golf, and then you had another one with actual golf, and then there was a long drive competition, and we played like 9 holes on Pebble Beach. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Dude, those things look really fun, and there's a couple of people in a small town that's started up with some leagues. So they're like, "Hey, come over Tuesdays where we got like all these different teams and stuff." I'm like, "That's badass."
Yeah. Oh, we got some in.
I see some chats here. Holy moly!
That game dude.
I asked for 40 of them, so they gave me a bunch.
Yeah, I was messing with AI the other day with the song one, Seinu or Sonu or one of those, and I just, you know what I mean, like the S'more Than Dads was just something that popped in, so I'm like, I'm just gonna have some fun with it. So it came up with a song. I just put a little prompt like you did, and it came up with a song, and I sent it, and Hubin was like, "Holy shit, that kind of sounds like Keith Urban. I'm digging it." And I'm like, AI rules. Like, I put one sentence, and it came up with a 40-second song, and it was like, all right.
Dude. So can I point out a couple that I don't want to say like, because I don't want you guys to like think that I'm going to be mad if you don't like them either. But that popped out.
I feel like we're all pretty good at busting each other and shooting.
No, I don't mind it at all. So don't bother me. Dads After Dark.
Ooh,
that sounds sexual.
I mean, definitely. Like we're gonna get some weird DMs here. But hey, I am the gay icon.
You are a pretty happy icon.
Yes. Let's see here. Another one I liked was Bonfire Banter, but that's a little too generic, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
Banter.
Backyard, yeah. I've had a couple of those.
Those
on
are
the
generic,
list.
very generic.
And that's kind of why I played the weird thing with the s'mores too. And then I was secretly hoping that somehow we'd get a potential like graham cracker / Is there more than one graham cracker? There's got to be like multiple graham cracker brands, right? I feel like there's around this area, there's like one brand that gets put out.
Was it like the Honey Maid?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, do they have a monopoly in the graham cracker biz?
So there's some people use like the Girl Scout cookies. It's like a chocolate graham cracker cookie. And so you just put those on there with some marshmallow in the middle of it. Oh, brother. Mm-hmm. And
you guys obviously mix it, like try different chocolates and stuff.
Oh, you're not always the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is the top tier choice.
It has to be S tier.
Oh, God.
It has to be.
God damn it. Now I'm hungry for a s'more.
Me too. I'm starving. We shouldn't have done that. It's funny because the one that I think it was always the play with the words, the dad's drinks and drive. And I'm like, or no, it's not. I thought it was an excellent. What is that word? Drivel? Drivel? What the hell does that mean? What the hell does drivel mean?
To
let saliva drip from the mouth or mucus from the nose. It can also mean to talk in a childish, silly, and meaningless way.
I was going to say useless talk, but yeah.
Interesting.
Well, when I see the grill and chill, I'm pretty sure Dairy Queen would probably go after us for that one. Isn't that their motto?
Which one's that?
The grill and chill. That's
they have grill and something. Yeah.
I'll tell you this: if Dairy Queen's going after us, we're definitely feeling some good success there.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
I'll give them a banana cream pie blizzard.
Ooh. We went there the other day, and of course, we somehow always talk about the apps. We went there. I didn't really know what time it was. You know, we went and had a couple of drinks. It was just me and the wife, and I was like, man, Blizzard be pretty good. So we just kind of pull in there. I'm like, let me order something on the app. So we get through, getting ready to press checkout. It says it'll be done in 12 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool. And I just kind of happened to look. I'm like, I wonder what time they're open till. It was like 5 after 9. You know what I mean? And I look, they closed at 9. But I'm like, what the hell would have happened if I ordered it and then like went through the drive-thru? Like, they wouldn't have made it. They're closed, right? You got these high school kids that are probably working or whatever. They want to get the hell out of there. It was a Saturday night. I'm like, but it would have let me order it. Have you guys ever like accidentally done that? Like, what would have happened? Like, would you just get refunded or something?
I would assume you'd get refunded, but mine usually never allows me to make a order. It'll just tell me, hey, it's past the hours of operation. But my Dairy Queen, they close their lobby at 9, but their drive-through stays open, I think, until 10. So I think it's different here.
I wonder if that would have been a thing. And I saw a couple people kind of come in and then like they left. So I'm like, So we went across the street to a Stewart's, which is like a small little convenience store with some of the best ice cream in the state, and tried some new brands. lady there that was working, pretty goddamn funny. We tried a couple ones. I was messing with her. She was throwing some stuff back. Apparently, she really likes chicken wings so hot that it burns her asshole the next day.
Don't we all?
I don't.
Ooh, I love me some hot wings. I want to feel it. I want to have heartburn throughout the rest of the day, and I want to shit fire the next day. That's how I like my wings too. I love it.
I don't like the feeling of shitting glass the next day. I don't like it.
I've grown so accustomed to it. No matter what I eat, I could drink a glass of water, shit fire. I could have a salad, shit fire. So,
wow,
eat some wings.
I mean, if you're gonna anyways, you might as well enjoy hot wings. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
All right.
Brendan's just like, go to the doctor.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about like the burning of my. If it burns on the outside of my butthole after we eat it, probably. I mean, like it's gone through like dozens and dozens of feet of intestine, bodily fluids that have burned away all this stuff, and there's still capsaicin in it that is burning. Maybe I should bring this down a point or two, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Do you guys put crushed red pepper on your pizza?
Yeah.
See, I put in an ungodly amount in there, and then sometimes whenever I poop, a little flake will somehow pass through my digestive system and get stuck on my butthole, and I'm like, God damn! Like, why is it? Why I got a little hot spice over there? Is that my hemorrhoid flaring up? Nope, it's a crushed red pepper stuck to my butthole.
I've been
crushed red pepper really takes the flavor of the smegma to the next level, I must say.
Oh, fiery smegma.
Talking about your original herbs and spices.
Ooh. Tell them, Colonel.
Yes.
I've been using the Redbeard seasoning that Tony was a part of, or whatever. The zesty everything bagel seasoning. I've been putting that on pizza, and it's got a little bit of a kick with that. It's really good.
Really? See, I have that too. I haven't tried that. Because,
like I said, I don't know, with the stomach issues, we're not going to circle back to that. I'm not looking for any pity or anything, but the hot stuff really ends up hotter. So this has the zest, but a little bit of spice. It's been pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
Hell yeah. I'll have to try that out. Shout out to Tony.
Shout out Tony, the Dude Network. And it's I bought it on Amazon, but it was Redbeard seasoning. I'm like, I got to get it. It talks about beards, red beards. It was good. I enjoy it. I think it's still a thing. I haven't had to re-up yet, but if I do, I'll do that.
It was
not
a
friend
big
of the show,
container.
but Tony's a friend of the show, so go check it out. Any other ones that stuck out to you, Brandon? Nothing really popped for me.
No, I think they're very generic, and I wanted it to be generic in a way.
Yep.
But I don't think anything really. I think they're almost too generic.
The one that I didn't hate was the Dad Lounge, but you know what I mean? Like it's just like that kind of concept. But I'm assuming that's probably already a thing. The Dad Lounge podcast. Yeah.
Backyard Dads.
Yeah. That one, definitely gay icons.
It's backdoor dads.
And it's tough too because we have so many friends that are doing like Tyson and them have the dad bods and beards. So like I don't want to do anything with the dad bods. And you got Tony and the Dude Network and the Dudes After Dark. So they got kind of the DAD, and I'm like, so like that's why I was trying to kind of step out, and just come up with something a little bit different. Let's see, what are some other ones I threw down there? I threw out, maybe we shouldn't give out all the names, but we're here. One that I really liked that wasn't taken that I thought was really cool was the Regulars. I'm like, it just kind of has some fun, but I didn't love it. I was like, it was all right.
I don't like it. I'll be transparent. It reminds me of the Regulators.
True. Okay. I just thought it was fun. It was surprising that it wasn't taken. You know what I mean? That was more intriguing because it's kind of a fun play. The other one,
and swig.
Sizzle and swig. Dad mode on. I was just reading through that thing. That was pretty good too as well. I sort of somewhere. I don't know why that one just keeps sticking in my brain. It's like, we're sort of somewhere, but I also like the podcast Middle of Somewhere, where they just talk about whatever. Two comedians, they just go there.
Beer belly laughs. Ooh, that's a beer belly laughs.
We do have some beer bellies. I like mine. One that I threw out, and I think I threw out to Euban, and he didn't overly love because it kind of had a little bit of some sports with it as well. Play by plate, a little fun play with sports and
food.
There was the other one that what was the one? Wasn't there one that the initials were STD? And you were like, "Oh, STD."
Yeah, what one was that? Oh, it's More Than Dads.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's what it is.
It's
Yeah,
More Than Dads. Yep,
yeah.
STD. So for short, that's probably good marketing. Center of Confusion was another one that I kind of liked. Initials were COC, COC. So I thought Euban would like it.
So
sold.
I put in a couple more. There's a couple I like now. It's not the names I like, but the theme, like the where it's going, not this actual name. Dad's Secret Stash.
Oh,
I don't like the name. I'm not sold on the name necessarily, but that
the
and
secret
then also,
stash play.
I do like that.
I also like there was one that was in here that was Father's Forbidden Fridge. I don't like that words, but like something like Dad's Fridge, or I put in that. I said, give me 10 more with this same theme. And it says Father's Fridge Raids, Snacks from Dad's Fridge, Peeking into Papa's Fridge, Dad's Fridge After Dark.
What about Stay Out of My Fridge?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's something Dad would say. Yep,
stay out of my fridge. And stay out of my. Let's see. I don't think that's a thing. Let's see. Stay out. So do we get like a percentage of the royalties when all of these other podcasts that we just named? Is there a way to put a disclaimer? There's one called Stay Out of the Fridge, but there is nothing that I see on a quick Google search that says stay out of my fridge. Could jot that down. SOMF. SOMF. What's that mean? I wonder if that means something.
He's an SMOF, so SMOF.
Stay out of my fridge.
Oh, SOMF. Stay out.
Okay. Follow along. And then again, just arbitrary, not sold on any of this. Who gives a shit whether or not it works? But Tales from the Icebox. I liked that.
Ooh.
So then I said, give me 10 like it. Secrets from the Snack Drawer. Legends from the Lunchbox. Mysteries from the Meat Locker. Stories from the Spice Rack. Whispers from the Wine Cellar. Okay, some of these are a little too alliteration. But I did like the Tales from the Icebox, but I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway,
I was trying to. Oh, man, I was like, man, the junk drawer podcast. That would have been cool, but that's already a thing.
Damn.
Shout out Nikki Carrion. Welcomes you to clear out of your junk drawer each week with this one-of-a-kind podcast.
But you could also go like Dad's Drunk Drawer or Dad's Snack Drawer or Dad's Snack Stash, or I don't know.
I like
Dad's
the secret
Fridge,
something with the secret stash. Like that was kind of
yeah.
Can you punch in there something to see if it'll come up with some kind of triple S? What else? What are words that are S in secret stash that could flow?
Sexy.
I knew you were going to say that. A sexy thing. Something secret stash.
Secret stash.
Blank secret stash. Well, what do dads have? I mean,
Papa's Private Reserve.
Stepdad's secrets. Stepdad, no.
I saw something the other day on the social medias where somebody took a frozen mixed vegetable bag and even tied it up with a bread tie, but inside of that bag was all of the candy. And I was like, my kids will never find my secret stash.
That's awesome. That's brilliant, actually.
Secrets Under the Sofa.
Ooh.
That's kind of funny.
Sticky sheets.
That has to be a thing. Welcome, everybody, to the Sticky Sheets podcast.
Yes. Come bust a load with it. Come unload and unwind. The toe curling podcast.
Father's Forbidden Files.
Oh.
I like it.
We're going to get a lot of Catholic listeners.
Daddy's Deeper Drawers.
Yikes.
That one might be a sugar mama thing, or
Dad's Darkroom Discoveries. Daddy's Dungeon Diversions. What the fuck?
Wow. ChatGPT is going down in some weird places.
Now, talking about dads and like The Secret, I just saw a preview. Did you guys see the preview to the new M. Night Shyamalan movie where, oh god, it's about like a serial killer but you see like this dad and a daughter going to a concert, and he's like, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom." And as he's going to the bathroom, you see a whole bunch of just like cameras being installed and like police force and everyone lining up outside of this concert. So the guy's like, "Hey," asking one of the guys selling T-shirts. He's like, "Hey, what's going on with all this?" He's like, "Well, I'm not really supposed to say," but he's like, the whatever this serial killer's name, the Butcher. He's like, you know the Butcher? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, this is a trap. They think he's going to be at this concert. They're going to get him. And the guy's like, whoa. So the next thing you do is you see him go into the bathroom and he unlocks his phone. And then there he has an Asian guy tied up in his basement. And he's the Butcher. And it's like, what the fuck? And so all you see is, it looks good. I'm not usually like a big horror fan. And, M. Night Shyamalan, I don't particularly just go for his stuff or anything. But this looked, who's the dude from Pearl Harbor? Josh Hartnett, I think was his name or whatever. He hasn't been in a lot of things since, but he's the lead guy in it too. It looks crazy. So talking about a secret, that dad had a big secret.
Oh, that's quite the secret. What was it called?
Show you. I think it was called The Trap. I think is what it was called.
It's a trap.
It's like it's supposed to come out in August or whatever. But yeah, shout out to M. Night Shyamalan. I'm probably butchering your name, but the movie looks good. Looks damn good.
Probably pretty close. Trap, just Trap.
Oh, okay.
Because I googled The Trap, and apparently that was a movie in 2019 that was directed by Eric White. Had Mike Epps, Loretta Devine. Much different vibe. A man returns from his home in Atlanta to help his brother's struggling restaurant with the help of a new chicken recipe. Has 21 Savage in it.
Huh. Never heard of it.
Much different.
Josh
Hartnett.
Yeah, dude. He used to be like a heartthrob back in the day. Haven't really seen much of him, but I'll have to send you guys the trailer because it looks good.
Interesting.
I swear to God, this chicken shows up, this rooster, every time I hit fucking record, he's like, let me sing you the song of my people. Let me just, scream it from these rooftops.
Wouldn't that be awesome, though, if he knew the secret recipe from Colonel Sanders and he's been telling us the whole time and we just needed like a chicken decipher or like a chicken translator to just tell us the recipe and we could be billionaires right now?
Is there a chicken whisperer? Is that a thing?
If not, we should name our podcast the Chicken Whisperer Podcast.
Good God.
Speaking of KFC and chicken and apps, to go full circle on this, the other day we were at a game and in the middle of nowhere. This is the place where I sent you a picture. It was a decent day, had the mountains. I mean, there is nothing. It was old mining, old logging, and every business pretty much is shut down except for the school, one pharmacy, which I believe the guy that owns the golf thing is the pharmacist and owns that building, and a hospital, very small hospital. And, you're probably 40 minutes away from anywhere that has like good food, roughly, no matter direction. So I was like, you know what? I'm feeling nice. Kid played good. It was a good game. I said, all right, pick somewhere to eat. KFC. I said, all right, cool. So 40 minutes, hand the phone to the wife. They put the order. We get what we want. I finish it. Pay. Here we go. So I drive 43 minutes. Get in there. Roll in. I was like, yeah, pick up for Matt. They're like, we don't have a pickup for Matt. I'm like, what? I was like, it says it's ready. So I'm looking. I go, son of a bitch. We were closer to another KFC. Put it into that one, apparently. I look at there. They close in 13 minutes. It's a 9-minute drive. Son of a bitch. And I go, there's probably nothing you can do. They're like, unfortunately, no. Different owners. Different this. I'm like, cool. And the guy looks at me. He's like, good luck, man. So I call and I'm like, hey, just want to make sure you have the order. They're like, yeah. It's been sitting here a couple of minutes. I'm like, yep. And I'm thinking in my brain, like, they don't give a shit. So I get in there, get it. Everything's right. And I'm like, well, at least it's not Taco Bell where every time I order something, they fuck up the order. But yeah, so that was fun with the app. Yeah. I don't get how it switched to a different location. I've never ordered from that other location. The location I wanted to order from was closer geographically. I don't know how it happened, but
always double check because, I mean, it's not just that. I've had it to where when I've ordered from people on the internet, like on their website,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it defaults to pick up instead of delivery. It's like, why is it defaulting to pick up if I'm ordering it from it should default to delivery? And I just called in and I said, hey, it says I have to pick this up. Could you make that a delivery? I'm sorry. They're like, oh yeah, no problem. But so just double check that. But also to your point, like that happens all the time on different apps. Like I'm in the middle of town and I've got this long highway, and usually on either side of the highway, into and out of town, that's how it goes. There's a bunch of the chain restaurants. And whenever I order from Arby's, there's one north of town and south of town. And depending on the day, I don't know if it's right in the middle or not. It'll just go to one or the other. So you have to double check, and it just sucks.
It does.
I got my son Subway for his field day, and same thing. I went to go order it, and for some reason, it shows you the most recent place that you ordered from rather than the nearest. So I was like, that doesn't make sense. So it was asking me to go to one that was 40 miles away as compared to 10. And I was like, why the fuck would I want to do that? So I had to double check as well. But I was like, since I live so far away as well, I was like, I'm not driving an hour and a half to get a fucking Subway sandwich. No, thank you.
Yeah. So I'd end up driving 45 minutes to the one place, 10 minutes to the other place. And then I'm like, all right, then it's about 30 minutes home. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I'm going to have a road soda. I'm going to go the back way. So I start driving the back way. Forgot that they took the one bridge out. So not only that, then I have to go all the way around. And I'm like, God damn, by the time I got home, it was like 9 o'clock. I'm like, sorry, kids. So the one had to have KFC for lunch the next day. And turns out she felt super cool. You know, she's 7 years old and was like, yeah, in a very small town that doesn't have a KFC near them. So it all worked out. But I'm like, God damn. Every once in a while, we always talk about how awesome the app is and how much you save, which I did get a free 10-piece extra saucy nugget or whatever the new things were. And they were spicy. They were fantastic. So apps can be good. But when you're dumb like me and don't pay attention, it does kind of suck.
Now, did those wings make your butthole bleed, or were they hot the next day?
No. I only had like 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. So I think we were still good. But if I eat all 10 of them, oh yeah, yep. But I mean, thankfully I used the bidet anyways, so it would have just been a dry. I think we would have been all right. There was a guy that I used to work with though at the hospital. He made like Italian guy, and he would have these peppers sent in from some place or where he would buy them, got them like right from Italy, and he would make a sausage bread, and it was so goddamn good, but it was spicy, not to the point where like you needed milk or whatever. Like it was a good hot, but I'm telling you, it was the worst shit I have ever had in my entire life. And I worked with this guy for years, and every time we got that sausage bread, it was brutal. I mean, legit felt like I've never shit glass, but it was comparable. I mean, like crying to the point, and it was multiple shits to work itself out for some reason. It was brutal. But then a year would pass. I'm like, got that sausage bread, and it's almost like you forget. And then you quickly realize the mistakes that you made. It got to the point I was like, thank God, man, you retired, because I don't know how many of those crying shits I could have, you know?
It's always really bad whenever you start sweating. Like I hate, like, say I'm weed eating out in the yard. I've already got swamp ass real bad, and then you just hear, it's like, oh no. So then you're trying to wipe off all the grass clippings so you don't get them in the house, so you don't get in trouble, and you're rushing into the bathroom, and by the time you sit down on the toilet seat, you're almost sliding off because the swamp ass is so fucking thick, and you're just over there miserable. You're sweating on your forehead, sweating on down your crack, and you're like, this is the worst fucking experience ever. And after you think everything's done, then you have to put them dirty fucking clothes back on again. You're just like, this sucks. I'm just investing right back into the swamp ass. These underwear are soaking wet. Fuck. Shout out to summertime.
Shout out summertime. Which we're going to probably, what is it, May? We'll see summertime in 2 months. For 2 months.
That is wild.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I showed you a picture. We were in the camper yesterday, just getting it ready. Hopefully it's decent weather enough by, Memorial Day, but it's fucking drags on, man. The weather. You know what I mean? Softball season up here, you have to fit it in like 5 weeks. And the other day, a couple of weeks ago, we were in the same location for the softball game. It was snowing, sleeting, raining. It hit every single season except for summer in one game.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, Texas got hit with 3 feet of hail over the weekend too in some area. Yeah, it was 3 feet deep of hail, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Jesus. Well, you sent me the picture that there was a baseball-sized hail near you.
Yeah,
Oh.
and we're still having baseball practice. There's lightning going around everywhere, and I'm just like, what's? Are we going to cancel this? Like these kids are 9. They're not going pro anytime soon. Like we don't have to have this practice. You know what I mean?
They're not
Like,
cats. They don't have 9 lives.
yeah, and they're over there just holding aluminum bats just up in the sky. And I'm just seeing lightning going over. I'm like, okay, okay. And then the storm split around us. I don't know. We had some kind of force field apparently, and it went all the way around us to whenever I got home, like 2 miles north. There's just baseball size hail everywhere.
Can I show a picture of that?
Yeah, go ahead.
The picture you sent me?
Yeah.
Look at this.
So I mean, it was, and they always say when it's spiky like that too, that it's tornadic or whatever. That's high wind and everything. That's what makes it apparently have those spikes or whatever. But that was 20 minutes after sitting in the yard. Yeah. So I mean,
those are some. How many insurance claims? I mean, there had to be hundreds and thousands of vehicles dented, windshield smashed, right?
So it was only like in a small area. So surprisingly, like there was quite a few people, but not since it's not heavily populated. It's a lot of farmlands in between. It wasn't crazy, but it's not uncommon for us to see like those State Farm catastrophe vehicles and stuff like that parked at our local Hy-Vee every other weekend. So they love it around here. They're like, oh shit, town's getting hit again. And then you always see people too talking about car shopping because they see the lots getting destroyed and they're like, yes, cheap cars. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's what I guess you don't think about that. Imagine, I mean, they're all in one spot. That gets hit. That's a long day of work for whoever's in charge of warranties and claims at that dealership. Up here too, and I mean, obviously you guys get it. And I have some buddies that work at car dealers, and it's just like the snowstorms. You know what I mean? Then they got to have somebody that's got to go out. They got to shovel it all. They got to move them all so they can plow. It's like these vehicles get moved feet thousands of times before somebody comes in and buys them. And up here, the car dealerships, they were struggling. I mean, COVID was 5 years ago almost at this point now. From there, you're just starting to see, at least up here, I don't know if it's for you guys, where car dealerships are actually starting to get inventory again.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. The local place up the road that does like primarily Chevrolet and stuff, they haven't had as many Corvettes on their lot in probably definitely pre-COVID. And the other day they had a lot full and they took a picture, and I'm like, it's good to see some things, finally starting to come back to 5 goddamn years. But it was the best time of many people's lives, they say.
Can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. No, I'm kidding. Can you believe it's been 4 fucking years since the pandemic started?
I know.
Holy shit. Wild.
Yep. And it's, for me, it's kind of, you're seeing some side effects, at least like I have, like kids wise coaching and stuff. The kids that like were in the pandemic, whether they were going through school, whether they were trying to go through sports and stuff, now they're at the age where they're starting to get in like, say, JV and starting high school sports and stuff, missing out on like those core years. Obviously there's more than sports, but this is just something that sticks out for me being a guy that coaches. Like they missed out on core things in life, you know what I mean? Like the little things, like from the skill work and this and that, but then they're all just a little bit different too, because they had to, learn some of the core stuff that they had to learn in school virtually. And at least in this area, there was a lot of parents I don't think were keeping up with that schoolwork. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like it was a struggle for me because I'm not a teacher. You know what I mean? Whether you're smart, I'm not saying I'm smart, but whether you are or you're not, it's hard to keep up and do what some of those teachers do. I'm thankful the wife is a teacher, was able to help get through that. But it's like, God damn, man, some of those poor kids.
The math is insane, dude. I can't keep up. The one thing I always talk about too is like my kids don't really go into restaurants to eat very often, so that's kind of like a big thing for them. Sometimes I always think about it. I'm like, what? I was like, we're just eating in a restaurant, and they go, we never do this, Dad. And I'm like, oh fuck, we do get a lot of shit to go. Like we really. And a lot of it stemmed from COVID, where a lot of those places you couldn't dine in. So we really just didn't go to a lot of restaurants. And since then, I could probably count 10 times that I've actually sat in a restaurant and actually just ate. It's wild.
It is. I mean, for us too, always being on the go with sports and stuff, by the time we get a chance to get to there. But I mean, I do enjoy it. And we have a thing too, that like when we're there, whether we're eating at home, whether we're eating at a restaurant, put the technology away. We don't get a lot of time to hang out with each other. We're going to have a conversation with each other. And this isn't saying, hey, those parents that, let their kids watch their phone, like, I don't care. You parent your way. I'm not out here judging. Don't give a shit. And maybe the phone keeps your kid from screaming and freaking out. Cool. But for us, no technology. We're having a conversation.
And how much it changed the world. And I don't mean just temporarily for the year when it was going on, lockdowns and all that stuff. It changed industry. I mean, you see, even in our little lives, in our little circles, Walmart's not open 24 hours a day anymore. Mm-hmm. There were McDonald's that were open for 24 hours in some locations on the highway and popular places that are closing at 11 o'clock now and opening up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning. It changed. It gave business an opportunity to say, okay, let's pause. And what are some things we've been talking about doing? And because of this, we can now do. Yep. And there are so many different, you guys can spell this out if you'd like, so many different industries where we're seeing issues with the supply chain still, where things have still not gotten back. And I don't know how, but because I don't understand this, so I'm not saying there's a conspiracy.
Yep.
I'm just not well versed on it enough to say, why can't we get, why are, prices of this still crazy? Why are prices of that still out of this world? I mean, some of the stuff we've talked about over the last several months with fast food, when it comes to pricing, some of that has changed because of the pandemic and it's never gone back down.
Rent, so you mean that every person would get hundreds and thousands of dollars and there would be no repercussion from it? Weird.
Well, touche.
Not to get political or whatever the word is.
100%. I mean, you're not just speaking on the political side of what it does to your money when you're just handing out, I don't want to say free money, but when you're printing out checks and sending them to businesses and you're sending to individuals, it has an impact on the value of the money, but also when you're doing those things and you're seeing all of the fraud that happened with businesses, not with individuals, but with businesses, lots of small businesses who took advantage of some of those loans and are now finding out, they used them for cars and for vacations and for this and that. And so sad stuff.
Yeah, there's a restaurant here, and being the time of the recording, Cinco de Mayo, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Fuck the French.
They're a Mexican place. Agree, especially Quebec. Fuck you. That they actually have never opened their dining back up. They're still takeout only from the pandemic because they found the business is just as good, but they're able to save a little bit of money, and their food is just as amazing, if not better. And like I said, I'm not a business guy nor there, but less overhead. You know what I mean? You're only doing takeout. It's fantastic. I wish they were open today. Shout out Dirty Gringo.
Yeah, there's some restaurants that I know are locally that don't do even sit down anymore. It's all come pick it up and go, or we'll deliver it to you. Yep. And how it's changed our lives with, there were, DoorDash and things for the last 10 years, even where I was living, but how much it's like in my small town of 25,000, I can get DoorDash to my front door now.
Yeah.
Like that's how like people are, how businesses are changing and accepting it and doing more of it. And how much we've accepted the convenience of, it's just $5 for the delivery fee and $3.99 for the convenience fee and $3.99 for the tax and another 20 or 40% for tip, might as well fucking make food at home. And then even that is expensive. So anyway.
It's true, man.
Like Chipotle's getting hit hard now too because of their portions with their chicken. I know that I guess they told their staff too to hey, if you're eating here while you're working, don't eat the chicken because there was a chicken shortage or something as well. But now, you go over there, you're spending $13 on a burrito and it is 90% rice and beans. You know what I mean? It's no, this is not right.
It always ends up with food talk, and it's making me hungry.
Starving.
No, honestly, we're not done, Matt. We're not done. I am angry. Fucking Jimmy John's used to be so good 15 years ago. It's not even the pandemic that changed it that much, I think. I don't know much of it, but 15 years ago, you got the gargantuan. Holy shit. That was a sandwich that could fill you. I was a fucking 20-year-old kid, and it would fill me up for a whole day, like it felt like. You get a gargantuan now, and it's like, this is what your sandwiches should look like normally,
right?
Not what you're paying close to $20 for a sandwich is. So
With Jimmy John's though, my only complaint with them is you walk in, you're like, hey, I'd like to get a sandwich, and they're like, cool, we're gonna put it on this one and only type of bread that we got. That's it. You know, we only have, or maybe they have 2 selections now, but not many. And then I'm like, cool, can I get some cheese? They go, yep, we got 2 different types of cheeses as well. It's like, what the fuck? They don't have shit. And they're like, do you want some bean sprout lettuce on your sandwich? No. That sounds fucking awful.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if you guys, have you had a Good Sense? You might, Brandon. Have you had Mr. Good Sense?
I've had Mr. Good Sense in Lincoln. It's decent.
I'm a fucking slut for Mr. Good Sense. Shout out to them. Get yourself a penny club. And they have deals too. They're like, hey, it's a $5 16-inch sub.
Hey, that's what's up. Fuck the 12-inch.
What was the sandwich place back in the day? I don't remember it anymore. It wasn't like
Blippy?
Little something. Little.
Oh.
Fuck, what was it?
Oh, it wasn't Blippy. It was
Little Kings?
Blimpy.
Was it Little Kings? Do you remember Little Kings?
Mm-mm.
Little Kings Deli?
So.
Oh. Share it with you guys. So, if I can find how to fucking do this.
I love that. Whoa.
I know he's, you know it's serious when he's grunting like that too. He's like, hold on.
So
shit.
Little Kings, it's just a deli place, but it was an Omaha thing, I'm pretty sure. So that's probably why. But their combo and their it always looks better on the thing. Let me just tell you that.
And they're still a thing, right?
Yes, they're still a thing. But the thing that made it so great was on their sandwiches. You could get it the Little King way, which was lettuce, tomato, oil, vinegar, oregano, and salt. And it's Nebraska's. No wonder why you don't have it. Sorry, I thought it was a chain. But it was so good because their oil and vinegar is so much different than Jimmy John's or Subway. It just made the sandwich so good. And the Italian combo or the Royal Treat, their signatures, with that oil and vinegar, chef's kiss. It was like a sweet and savory and salty vinegar. It was,
I mean, an Italian combo and stuff like that has got to be one of the, not hacks, but one of the best value that you can get on pretty much every, because you're getting multiple meats on a sub, instead of just a turkey or this or that. But I don't know. It's a good one. There's a sub shop right up the road from me. I can't get anywhere fresh, but this is 2 miles right up the road from me. They have the best subs that I've ever had. And the reason I love it, it's fresh meats. You know what I mean? Just like those ones, the Little King, they were saying it's fresh deli. This is fresh meat, and they don't hold back on portions. I mean, they load it. Perfect. Even if you don't like all the veggies and stuff and you just were to get meat and cheese, good ratio to bun to meat ratio. And a couple of people where we are, they're cheap. You know what I mean? They want to go and, get a buy one, get one at Subway or something and whatever. I mean, I don't know the exact price because it's been a hot minute since I got one of these subs. And I'm not a guy that kind of looks at the receipt and says, oh, it's whatever. I'm going to say probably $13 to $15. And that's for a whole sub. And it would be pretty much 2 whole Subway subs. I mean, if you were to eat an entire sub, we're all pretty bigger guys. You would be so uncomfortable full that you would want to go in and throw up. I mean, they are huge. And like my uncle, he's always known as one of the cheapest guys around. He drives, probably 12 minutes one way just to get one of these subs. They're so goddamn good. I mean, fantastic. 99.9% of the people listening to this will never visit this place, but it's fucking fantastic.
You just can't go wrong with a good sandwich, man.
It's true.
There's so I did look up too, Brandon, the nearest Little King's looks like it is in Omaha. So it'd be a 2-hour drive. But next time I'm in town, because every single Little King in Nebraska is showing like 4.6 stars, 4.2 stars. Like they're all rated very high. So
it's low. Nothing's locally owned anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's a franchise, but still like it's an Omaha thing. It's really good. There's another restaurant out of Omaha called Gandolfo's. If you get a second, look it up. There's 3 restaurants. One in
isn't that a character on Harry Potter?
Right.
One
downtown, one midtown, one out west, whatever. But another restaurant where they've got a lot of different sandwiches on the menu. But it's the closest thing I've seen to when I went to New York City. Of course, when I say
New York City,
New York City,
Ooh.
it's a salsa from New York City. The pastrami, the corned beef, it's like,
ooh,
I mean, you're paying $15 for the sandwich, but you're getting like double portions of meat, not included the stuff. So, yeah,
I'm looking it up now. This is better than pornography.
No, I mean they got so many sandwiches, breakfast, and other stuff too. But they're like, if you're a fan of like pastrami, or they have a knuckle sandwich, they call it, which is pastrami, cheddar, mozzarella, parmesan, lettuce, tomato, mushrooms, olives. I mean, it's just holy shit, so good. It's the closest to New York you'll get in Omaha. Is basically what I'm getting at.
It looks, I mean, fantastic. And they have 4 meals for $40. So there's already deals on here as well. So I'm interested. We need to set up a group chat with each other instead of sending nudes. It's just sending foods, and we're like, "Hey, you fat slutty bitch, do you want to see what I'm eating today?" So yeah, lately everyone's been on a horseshoe kick. Like a lot of these local restaurants are making their own versions of like their horseshoes, and I'm like, I'm fine with some meat, fries, and cheese, bro. I'll eat that.
Sorry, sendingfoods.com is already taken.
Son of a bitch.
I know. We can't have any original ideas.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to throw this. You know what? I'm going to end it, and then I'm going to throw out a name and a concept so nobody steals this one, just in case it's good, because I think it's got potential. So we've given enough free ones away. Check out the Patreon that I don't update anything if you want to see some of this behind-the-scenes content that you'll never see. But yeah, either way, go check out you'vebeenwhackingoff.com. Buy yourself a candle. Maybe we even came up with a new scent on a show last week. And check out Brandon J. McDermott on all the social medias as well. The website. Go buy his book. Go buy some merch. And shout out to SSU. They're a great school. If you're looking for enrollment, make sure you call up. Say, hey, SSU, heard about you guys on the Beard Laws podcast. Thanks to Brandon J. McDermott. You will save nothing on your tuition. But either way, go find a trade. Do something good. Keep your sticks on the ice. And fuck Boston. Have a good one.
Fuck Boston. Absolutely.